Hello. Today we're going to learn about the history of the 13 colonies here in the United States, and we will practice some 100 questions about the 13 colonies to help you study for your U.S. citizenship interview. Let's begin. Christopher Columbus. In 1492, he landed in what we now call the United States. He came from Europe. He was trying to find India. He was an explorer and was trying to find a new route by ship from Europe to India. At that time, people living in Europe did not know that North America and South America existed. So when he landed in what we now know as the United States, he thought he had arrived in India. Europeans. Europeans, or people from Europe. Many Europeans arrived in America in the 1600s. So after Columbus first found there was more land and more people living in a new place that people from Europe did not know about, more and more people from Europe started to cross the ocean to go live in this new land. For them, it was new, but the people living there, it was not new. What countries are in Europe? France, England, Italy, Spain. These are all examples of countries in Europe. So, who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? You could say American Indians lived here first, or Native Americans lived here first. Both are correct answers to this 100 question. Now, today, when we talk about the people who lived here first, or Native Americans, it is more respectful to use the term Native Americans. American Indians still refers to the old belief of that Columbus had found India. But we now know he was not in India. Some of the material you will learn for your citizenship interview is old, and it is not updated with the newest terms that are the most respectful to use. So you will see they still call Native Americans American Indians. And that's okay when you're studying for your test, but when you are talking about the people who lived here first, it's most respectful to say Native Americans, because native means first people to live here, or a local person. So using Native American shows you are respecting that they lived here first. For example, if someone said to you, "What is your native country?" they are asking, "Where were you born?" So native is your first place or the first people to live there. 13 colonies. So colonies are a country or group of people living under control by another country. So here we see these were 13 original, or the first, colonies. So when the Europeans arrived, they started to form their own colonies. And most of these started in the 1600s, when we saw more people from Europe, or Europeans, come to now what we call the United States. And a colonist is a person who lives in the colony. So if a colony is under control of another country and has another leader, who was the leader of the 13 colonies? It was the King of England. So King of England, or the British King. He would make the rules for the people living in the 13 colonies. So when people from Europe would cross the Atlantic Ocean by boat and arrive in the 13 colonies, their leader was still the King of England. Is the King of England the leader today? No. We'll look later at what happened and when did the King of England stop being the leader of what we now know as the United States. So let's practice some 100 questions about the 13 colonies. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. Because there were 13 original colonies. What is one reason colonists came to America? For freedom. Or you could say for religious freedom. At the time, people in Europe did not have religious freedom like we do now. So that was one reason they came across the Atlantic Ocean to live in the 13 colonies. They wanted to live in a free country. So what is freedom of religion? It is you can practice any religion or not practice a religion. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. So what is freedom of religion? Good. That means here in America, you are free to have a religion. So it is okay if you are Christian, if you are Muslim, if you are Hindu, if you are Jewish, Buddhist, you can practice any religion you want. And it is a crime for people to hurt you because of your religion. It is also a crime if someone says you cannot practice your religion. Also, you are free to not have a religion. So if you do not want to practice a religion, that is also okay. It is a crime if you hurt someone because they do not have a religion. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? People from Africa or Africans. People from Africa or Africans. So the Europeans wanted to be free, so they came to the 13 colonies. But even though they wanted to be free, they would not let people from Africa be free. They would come to Africa and enslave the people living there and would bring them to the 13 colonies to work for them. But this work, being enslaved, was not good work. They were very violent, and they would hurt them, and they would not give them any money for their work. And they would split up families. We'll learn more about the history of slavery and when it ended because of the Civil War later on. But this is what was happening in the 1600s. So the colonists wanted freedom, but they did not want everyone to have freedom. Also, Native Americans were already living in the United States, and the colonists wanted the land for themselves. So many times the Europeans and the Native Americans would fight because the colonists wanted to take the land from the Native Americans. And that's why for this last question in chapter 3, name 2 national U.S. holidays. The answers are Columbus Day and Thanksgiving. Both of these holidays represent that the Native Americans and the Europeans had a good relationship. Now, on these holidays, you may hear people saying we should talk about the history because actually the Europeans were very violent and hurtful towards the Native Americans. And we now know Columbus did a lot of horrible things. So many people want to change this holiday to celebrate Native Americans instead. You could also say for your holidays, Christmas, New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, President's Day, or Labor Day. All of those would be correct answers as well. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channel if you like these videos.